All right, Tactics here. Look, I know Asuka has released. I know it's been a bit of a while. And I have been asked, is Asuka worth it? Let me just give you the short answer. Yes. If you want to play any role, sure, get her. Are you talking about benediction? Yeah, you can literally give you and other players a shield. Attack, yes. She can debuff enemies so you can do more damage. Fortitude, yes. It's a great weapon to have. It can make other weapons even more viable and make it better for your allies. There is no reason why you wouldn't want it. Now, I'm not saying she's a must summon. That's not what I'm saying. I'm stating, well, it's your Fortitude, and yes, she's a must summon. If you're telling me you're trying to mainly play Fortitude and you skip this character, you're waiting another 6 months. Why are you doing that? And don't tell me, oh, I might get another weapon that's going to be good and it's not Fortitude. And just say you're not playing Fortitude as the main. It's okay. It's okay. But look, right? I don't really want to get too much into the level ups, but just know the more you invest into a weapon, the better it is. Don't say, oh, do I only need this? Do I only need. If you're mainly a Fortitude, don't ask me that question about a Fortitude weapon being leveled. Because to me, that's a silly question. I just sink down in my chair. But look, right? First off, oh, this weapon has crit. In fact, I should show you a little bit. Right? This weapon has crit on it. Crit HP attack. This is the only Fortitude weapon that has crit. So if you wanted to be able to do a little more damage, there you go. If anyone was telling you crit's not worth it, well, I mean, there's crit there on the weapon. And these are my stats, just to make sure. I know most are going to say, oh, you're a whale, isn't that? Bro, invest into your resistances, invest into your attack. Please don't be the person that tries to get elemental resistances all over the place. Because every time you choose a not upgrade, say for example, this is crit, right? You get resistances here. Resistance right here. That's an important stat. That goes to all your resistances. That means altered resist. If you're saying, oh, I don't need to get that, I'll get this, the physical resistance, frostness. Okay, this is what you're saying then. That means you have to get like a god tier roll on your visor. I can't even get a better visor for altered resist. This is what I got right here. And it has resist, so it gave me altered resistance. This has altered resistance, and I got the altered resist percent. Okay? But this isn't really about Fortitude, and this is about Asuka. So again, if you're not wanting to invest like this, you want to be like, for damage, look, I'm getting rolls that has attack. Look, it doesn't even have resistance on it. I wish it did, but it doesn't. They got 5 rolls into attack. So if someone's telling you don't roll attack, look, that might be cap. Most of my gear, like I got like 5 pieces of gear I think that has attack. Right? The leg guards with more to resist, but you know, we got attack on it, right? This is mostly into attack, so that's 1. Right? Mostly into attack, that's 2. See resistance down there. Mostly into attack, right? Resistance there, 3. Mostly into attack, no resistance, right? 4. Nothing there. In the headpiece, okay, nothing there. But I have 4 slots with attack on it. 4 slots that maximize into attack. What? I got 2 that was crit and 2 that are resistance. Now, with all that being said, you still can see I have a lot of resistances. So when players try to tell you, oh, you get a high CS by purely resist, I mean, maybe they do, but that's not why I'm doing it. That's when people say, oh, you just need a lot of resistance, you bump your CS up. Why would you let your attack not be there for Fortitude? You might say, oh, you're a tank. You need to be a whole aggro, all right? Land hits. We're not going to go into that. But let's talk more about Asuka, right? Oh, we got to talk about this a little bit. Armor Dissolve basically allows you and other players with flame and physical weapons to do more damage for 45 seconds. That's what that basically is, right? The resonances, that's great. And as long as you're upgrading flame or physical, like if you have a flame weapon, you can still use this weapon. If you're a flame main, like if you say, oh, I'm a flame main. Oh, I have Lon, I'm a flame main. Should I get Asuka so I can start playing Fortitude? You can. Now, of course, I could recommend Mimi, but she's really there for range and being able to use her skill with Lon to be able to gain aggro more frequently. That's what it's there for. Want to go without it? Possible. Sorry about that. All right. Her skill right here is basically saying you can do more damage with more. Oh, it says a physical attack. That's not really true. It's flame or fizz. I don't know why they only put fizz there. Max HP, your resistances, and your crit. Okay, just know that. Just gain a bunch of crit. Get attack where you can. Your gears. As far as like the Vera, try to get resistances that you can, because that's where your bulkiness really comes from, right? Get more stacks. That's not really important, to be honest. Like, it's important, but as long as you're playing the game, everything from A1 is naturally working, right? The A3 is basically just using the shields when you use your skill. It's gonna naturally happen. Just like the shatter and stuff, it's naturally gonna happen. The A6 is good too, because you basically have more shatter and penetration. So if like they have like a shield up, even though you're landing hits, beforehand it will negate damage. But now you're able to still stretch through it a little bit. You still have the same shatter. So when you break it, it's still good. So it allows more DPS to happen in shield phases. That's what it is. So those are important ones. Of course, you can talk about the A5, give more damage. That's great too. We're really on the everything else. But yeah, increased physical damage boosted. I don't know if that goes with allies or not. Haven't really got to try it yet because no one really cares. Right? All right, we got that out the way. So let's look at this now. We're gonna look at the armor dissolve, right? That's not what I want to do. Whoops. Right? I'm doing like, 100K, 172K. Now, the damage may not look good to you. Honestly, this is good tank damage. Now when I start landing these hits, you're gonna know it just spikes. Right? 170K, you saw 190 now. Now again, I don't have the shield up. If I put the shield up, I'm gonna do more damage. Right? You're probably like, why are we talking about damage? This is your damage weapon for Fortitude. Just because your Fortitude does not mean you do no damage. Right? Now let's throw this shield over here. Boom. You just saw me hit like 240K. Right? Just fighting. Right? Now this is the hidden tech that people don't know about. You can boost your flame damage like this, right? Go back to Asuka's weapon, and you'll get more damage. I don't know why it spikes like that. Now let's say it wasn't gonna go with Asuka's weapon. You saw him hit 270K damage, and I couldn't do that before the buff. But Lon's weapon is so good with Asuka's weapon. Again, don't look for, what's a minimum? You can level it up, level this thing up. If you're a 42 main, get your 42 weapons main. If, like, say for example, if you're a flame main, you should look to mainly upgrade your flame weapons. Now, let's say you was like, Lon release. Lon is not should not be a flame main weapon to be upgrading to like A6. You're probably like, why? Because it's a Fortitude weapon. You want to get it? Sure. You want to get A1? Sure. At this current time, you're trying to switch to Fortitude, do not summon backwards. Never go backwards, okay? They're like, why is Mimi there for? Not for that, but if you want to drop that, you can, sure. Look, you got some damage over time like this. So it's more overall damage, right? You got a skill. Overall more damage. You might say, could you find a better damage weapon? Sure. But it's not there for just only damage. That can help you gain aggro. Someone will tell you, it's not worth using Asuka's discharge. I'll tell you now, it's a really strong move. And it's a large area. And normally, even with it, like it doesn't have, it's not a taunt. It's not a taunt. But I gain attention of enemies if I lost it. Because it's high enough damage with the matrices I have, which gives me more aggro. By the way, the matrices are good too. Again, if you're a Fortitude main, matrices are worth it. I promise you, don't listen to anyone else. I mainly play Fortitude. Am I saying break your bank for it? Look, if you can't get them, you can't get them. It is what it is. Okay? Oh yeah, Lawn Matrices are good too. Again, she's gonna be at some point a permanent pool, or as y'all would say, the standard banner. So I would say wait for Lawn Matrices. Wait for Lawn's weapon. Do not summon backwards with red nucleus. Save that for the future. I would use Asuka's weapon, get any other Fortitude weapon, and then put like a flame weapon. Or a physical weapon. Yeah, it's gonna be scuffed. It is gonna be scuffed. But when Lon becomes in the permanent pool, you'll be able to use them both together. Now, will you be able to use Mimi? No. Should you wait for it to be in the permanent pool? So that's the question right now. That's the question I've been getting, right? So it's like, yeah, but I want Asuka's weapon. Should I get Mimi's weapon too? So that means I should summon on both of them. It is hard for me to say on summoning backwards, but Mimi has been like the most useful weapon to me. So like if you lose aggro, she gains you aggro. But let's not talk too much on that yet. Right? But look, increase physical and flame attack by 20%. Just A0. You might say, oh, but I'm not damaged. I'm a tank. You need to do damage to make it easier to hold aggro. If you only have resistances, you're gonna have a problem. You'll do decent damage still with your skills, yeah, sure. But you get attack gear and you can still manage to get like, I would say this, a minimum you should look at for damage for a Fortitude is 20k. You get to 20k, you wanna go to resistances, fine. You might say, oh, but your damage is 30k. Yeah, I'm really heavily investing into it. With weapons, matrices, gear, so I'm really optimizing the best I can. But I would say, no, not even 20k. No, I wouldn't say 20k. If you want to go to resistances after that's fine. I would say your resistances should be 25k. You know, look for an example. Oh, it shot back at the 35k. But see, like I reduced like 70% of damage. Most will say resistance is not worth it, right? Because 70 and you got to 35k to 52k, it only went up by 7%. Now that's not worth it. If you know how the math works from these monsters, there's a reason why when you look at the resistances, yes, these are whole numbers, but there's 3 decimals there. You telling me you don't think that's being used? That is being used. Every resistance point matters. But don't skip on health. Do not skip on health. You want 1.6 million health. I would say 20 or 25k on resist. Your altar should be able to hit 12k. If you don't have 12k resist, there's attackers who could potentially have more altar resist than you. You don't want them having more altar resist because you don't want the benediction babysitting you. If the benediction has to babysit you, you are a viability. Yes, even for me in Origins of War, I was taking a lot of damage at 2,000%. I was a liability. My health bar was dancing. All right, you might say, oh, that's 2,000%. It's Origins of War, floor 26. Yes, all true. I was still a liability. No matter how I tried to explain it, my health bar was going down. It's pressure on the benediction. You want to apply the least amount of pressure to a benediction as possible. Right? So here we go. You want to have 12k. I would say minimums, right? 12k here. In fact, yeah, 12k for altar resistances. I would say 20k, if you can push higher than that, sure. But now I'm looking at the attack. Like once you get those minimums, I would say, now you see like my vault attack is 23k. I only stack attack. So I want to say 20, I'm gonna say 15 to 20k. If you get the 15 to 20K and you want to start looking more at resistances, fine. Because without it, this is how my base is going to look. This is my base. I'm almost at 20K still, right? No weapons on, no matrices on. This is just pure gear, right? Just pure gear right here. And these are my stats. I got 13K auto resist. I was saying 12K, right? So I'm making my minimum here, right? I said to have 20 like K what did I say? Yeah, I said 20K resistances. I'm definitely meeting that. My health is low without any weapons and matrices on. I have 1.3 million health though. With nothing on. And I'm almost hitting 20K attack. Just purely with gear. So again, it's gonna look mostly into the defensive side, mainly because my pieces here is gonna be defensive. If I took these off, right? I'm gonna take off more like 2.0 gear. So we're gonna just my gear from 1.0 that's leveled up, that I tightened, with the exception of the headpiece, right? I'm still almost at 15K attack. And all my resistances are still over 20K. And look, my auto resist is like matching some attackers. 7K. This is just 1.0 gear. So again, that's it's at 110 like that. Now I'm not saying, oh, you should be like me. No. If you're new, I'm just trying to get some baselines. Right? You want to get a form of resistance. You want some attack though. Like if you're looking for gear, I don't want to make this a 42 video. I don't want to make this a 42 video. Sorry about that. But yeah, back to Asuka. Is she worth getting? Yes. I have the shatter on her weapon. I like the shatter. I really like the shatter on it. It's really great. You can basically like, I was in VA6 with my defense buffs. I was able to solo shatter an enemy. So you can shatter. I was able to stay alive without anyone healing me in VA6. Then you might say, oh, but VA6 is easy. I'm just stating I was in there alone and did not die. You might say, oh, you had buffs. Buffs or not, I'm still alone. Right? So as a Fortitude, like you got to be able to stay alive. And you should overall be trying to get more resistances and attack. In my honest opinion. Now look, if you end up having more attack than resistances, fine. You have more attack than resistances. But don't try to have like 70K attack, right? Like I've seen this. A lot of Fortitude players will try to get a lot of attack, right? But they'll have no resistances and say, oh, I'm gonna play Fortitude. It like, yes, you're able to not die as much. But I say, oh, see, look, I can live. But ask the benediction. Are they struggling to keep you and someone else alive? If they are, that's problematic. That's really what it comes down to. You can have a baseline stat or whatever you want, right? But does it make it easy for the benediction to keep you alive? Do the attackers get aggro? Oh, what's that? That's a piece of gear I'm gonna try to roll on. I don't know if it's gonna be good, but for the most part, Asuka's a great weapon. Do I say summon? Yes, especially a Fortitude. Fortitude, get as many rolls into as you can. I would say if you get her the A3 and you want her matrices, look at the matrices. If you really want the matrices, oh, in fact, I don't think I showed the matrices. But if you want these matrices, again, I would say get them, but look, it's all up to you. Oh no, we did look at these. Oh no, we didn't. Look, increase damage by 20%. Using a dodge consumes a stack. But even though you're using a stack, it means you're doing damage to an enemy. So you dodge attack, you can summon some damage. If you're doing a regular attack, you summon damage. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't even think about this. You see Fortitude Resident active, you get more aggro. It's not bad to have. There's no downside. Most say, oh, they should have had this in the weapon. I mean, I'm not against it. Sure, I don't really know why they even have it on the matrices, to be honest. I haven't really had an aggro problem. Like Mimi has a taunt. Oh, what did you have Mimi? Lon has, being able to gain aggro. Oh, what did you have Lon? Saki has a charged attack and a hold attack. And you might say, what did you have Saki? At this point, like, you're a Fortitude main. You should have one of those characters I just stated. You're a Fortitude main. Saki's in the standard, right? We call it the standard match. She's in the standard, so you can get her. Huma is a standard. You can get them. I don't like using Huma anymore, but you want her, sure. She can beat your spot before you get Lon. And in this weapon, if you don't have Mimi, honestly, I recommend getting a ranged weapon. Most say, oh no, you're Fortitude. You need all Fortitude weapons. The reason why I say range, the enemy flies away, you become useless. Can't land a hit, you're chasing them, you can't do anything. That's the reason why I have Mimi's weapon here all the time. So even if, they fly away, like, oh, how do I supposed to hit them? You're just doing this. The damage goes to them, you're fine. Now, you're wondering about the shield, right? You will always be able to do damage. This shield will not go away. It stays in your movement. Okay, the shield lasts 25 seconds. And now since it tells you, but see, look, I got the spear up now. I can use the skill again. I'm just waiting for it to say, oh, the shield, see? The shield's about to disappear. What I do? Place it back on. A-okay. Now, the shield can drop down if you're getting hit. Okay? The shield can drop if you're getting hit. Well, it will drop. Everyone has that shield. If you're landing hits, it will go back up. But yeah, that's really it. I made this video a lot longer than expected. But just to summarize, in case you skip to the end, Asuka's worth it. With her matrices, I use the shadow matrices because you're Fortitude. She don't have Scylla. I know most people say Shiro, and Shiro's not bad. You want to move up the 2P Shiro as fast as you can. It only works in the enemies at 50% health. You might say, oh, what if you can't shatter? Well, once it's past 50% health, well, if you couldn't shatter beforehand, well, then what's the point of having them? Again, if you want them at the time being, cool. But as soon as you get the 2P Scylla, then I guess you have 2P Scylla, 2P Shiro, but I would just be done with, like, Shiro as fast as possible. I do have the Habuela. It gives you more damage. Don't get it wrong. I just like to be able to have the shadow more, and it gives elemental damage in the background. I mean, so why not just 2-piece this and then 2-piece Habuela, so you get shatter and finish damage. When I switch to the other weapon, I just want them to be able to do a higher amount of damage for the skills and the discharge. That's really it. But you want to mix it up? Go ahead and mix and see what works for you. I'm using Lon as the background. Beforehand, I was using Habo just for the finishing damage. But after seeing the damage I get from this, the Lon is just A0. I feel like I get more of a damage output. I mean, it's, oh, you're a Fortitude, you don't have to worry about damage. No, you're a Fortitude. You have to be able to put out some form of damage. And if you're able to stay alive, if you're staying alive, if you're not dead, why would you get more survivability? You're not dead. That's what I'm getting at. Like, if you're playing like a raid, you're doing VA, you're doing Origins of War, and you went for defense buffs in like VA and Origins of War, and you're not dying really, you're barely taking any damage, get yourself offense. Getting more health and defense isn't going to do anything. Yeah, it'll make it so you won't take damage, but help out, do damage, because sometimes your attackers just can't do enough damage. Doesn't mean they're weak, it's just, bro, it's 4 players out there. Your Benediction may be trying to do some extra damage, get yourself some damage. Like, do you not want any damage? I'm not saying, oh, be number 1 in damage, but look. Get yourself some damage. It does not hurt. You see how these spears are dropping down? Look at that. Right? Land the hit. Land the hit. Doesn't. It doesn't. Well, it does work. Oh, yeah, the spear dropped down, but it doesn't do any damage. Like, it's only gonna do damage because the flame damage is still there. So that's the luck. But yeah, let's not make this video long. Grr. Sorry about that. I just wanted to give y'all as much information as I can. Again, you want to ask me more questions, or maybe you want to see me do something, or you're asking me like why I do something. I don't mind responding to the comment section, and I don't mind making like a different video showing content I'm doing. I don't mind. Till then, catch the next one. Thank you for watching the video, like and subscribing, because you can put that subscribe button that's right over here. And don't forget, you can watch the videos over here. I want to see you in there too, all right? You enjoy yourself.